Hey y'all.
Hey, it's Craig and Melissa with Small Town Reshop and with the Bickhams.
Today y'all, that short little video that I did the other day on those quick bows actually has done like really well. So we decided that we were going to make some Christmas bows today, doing the same method, little quick simple bow that everybody can make and you can use for just about any project if you want. So we're going to get more in depth today though about how we cut. Now remember, you can cut these like she's got a piece here. This is some 4-inch ribbon that I'm going to see how much she has left on this roll. And we're just going to get it all.
I thought you might could do two.
No, you can do, I noticed yesterday that doing them longer, you can make bigger bows. They don't all have to be the small bows.
Yeah.
So let's get to it, y'all, and let's see what we can make here. Now I'm going to let her measure from that end so I can see on her 36-inch mat.
Oh, it's so every bit of 34.
All right, so this is about a 34-inch piece.
Just take that off.
I'm going to just take the tape off. I'm not even going to cut the end. And we're just going to
throw... You can fold that in then.
Yeah. All right, so on your 4-inch ribbon, y'all, this is what we're going to do. You just fold it together and you let it overlap some. So that's about 4 inches. So you can tell how big of a bow this will make at 34.
Too big.
All right, so she's saying that's going to be a little too big. So we want to find that perfect size that we're happy with. So let's just let it overlap some more and see. I think that's too small.
That's about right.
So she thinks about a 12-inch. So let's say like a 12 or 13-inch.
I wouldn't do it 13. I think that's too big.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go 12. So we're going to cut, is I would just back it out a couple of inches, like so. You can go a little more. And then just cut it. Just cut it in the center. I'll just pick center piece and just cut it. You're just going to lose two little pieces. You're going to lose this piece and this piece right here. And now you can overlap just a couple inches and you can get your 12-inch. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. And if y'all watched the other video, if you didn't, go back and watch it, y'all. Just flip it over.
And set it up to the side.
Yep, set it off to the side. And now pick your next size ribbon, which is going to be a 2.5. So that's a 4. Oh, let me get it back where everybody can see it, y'all.
That's a 4-inch.
That's a 4-inch ribbon. This is a 2.5, just a solid red. Now I'm going to do one, and Melissa's going to make one. So let me get this, and I'm going to show y'all a little trick that I've been trying to work on, because it bothers my hands a little bit, y'all, to have to hold all this together all the time. So I've been trying to find a way that I don't have to hold this one and the two on top. It's not that bad, but for the people that might have problems with their hands that can't do it, so I don't like this. So I am gonna straighten that up. My OCD won't do that. So we're gonna cut the 2.5-inch about the same length. So we're gonna measure. We're going to measure so we know what we got here. So let me measure. Let's see what we're working with.
You got 28.
All right, so it's a 28-inch piece. So a 28-inch piece is going to give us where we can do our 12-inch bow for the 4-inch. So I'm going to let her go to 28. And I'm just going to cut me a 20 at the 1-inch, or at the beginning of the mat. All right, so we got this piece right here. Now we're going to cut the same length in the 1.5-inch piece that she picked out, which is a
1.5 inch.
A very pretty, it's like a candy cane.
Yes.
She's going to cut that bent part off of it. Don't let these things intimidate you, because I kind of do sometimes, and I'm sitting here telling you not to. So now we've got a 2.5-inch piece at 28 and a 1.5-inch piece at 28. So now what we're going to do, so I'm going to get the camera zoomed down. We're going to take our 2.5-inch piece. Now this is just, let's just say it's this way, so we're going to put them upside down. We're going to put them upside down and we're going to fold, and I'm going to fold it by my 4-inch piece so I can kind of tell
Gauge the
the length. I can gauge the loop. So what you're trying to do, you grab it on the end and you're going to bend it back across itself. So now I'm just going to kind of eyeball with my 4-inch because I want it to be a little bit shorter. And remember, don't let it come down too far this way. Keep it more up on itself, and then you can just bend it down flat. Now I'm going to do this one the same way and just pick about the same well, actually it's going to be a little shorter. Keep your tails about the same.
Yeah, you want it to be a little shorter.
Yeah, keep your tails about the same. That's going to be some real short tails. Alright, so it looks kind of like a shirt.
A shirt collar.
A shirt collar. Like I said, kind of like a shirt collar. And we're going to do the same thing, and I just do it on top of this one. Just put it upside down. It should be 13.5. I'm just using my mat, y'all. You can just eyeball this if you need to. And I'm just going to fold it exactly the same, just a little shorter. So we're going to shorten that one up by about I don't know, 1/4 of an inch or so. And we're going to shorten this one up about 1/4 of an inch or so. Make sure it stays straight though. And at least let it just follow that other ribbon. Alright, so now we got them on top of each other. We're just going to scrunch them. You're just going to scrunch these all the way across the middle until you get a little bow, like so. You get a little bow. So now that we've got that one, we're going to go ahead and you're going to go ahead and zip tie it. So we don't have to hold this one all in your hand. So I just run it between my fingers, hold it with my thumb and my forefinger, and then just run it through that hole. You got a little hole right there. So I just run it through that hole. And then you just got to, this is where you got to hold your mouth right and get it all so it stays together and you can get your zip tie together. And I need my glasses on. And don't zip tie it all the way down yet. Pull it kind of snug underneath the bottom, but don't tighten it just all the way, 100%. So yeah, just roll it around. Once you get it pulled down, y'all, roll it around to the back side. That way you can kind of look. I had it turned wrong a while ago. Don't pull it down yet, because you're going to be cutting all your little things, and make sure that you don't need to pull a loop before you snug it down, because it looks like. Cut your zip tie off. Once you get it tight, cut your excess zip tie off, and then we're just going to set it right in the middle of that other one. Now you can make it a little smaller if you need to.
Yeah, because these are too long.
Okay, but they're not too bad. I mean, I'm just gonna make it a little long, a little shorter. Just eyeball it. Don't worry about how measuring. My wife getting on to me about measuring. Once you got it like you want it in the middle, just push it down. What I was gonna do was lay me some twine down that I tied a loop. I just got one loop on this end and nothing on this end. And I'm just gonna run it through that loop and let it pull itself down. Let it kind of, whenever I'm gonna scrunch it up down the middle, just like so. I don't know if this is gonna work or not, but
it was a good idea.
It was a good idea. Scrunch it up, and I'm gonna grab my string if I can find my part, and I'm just gonna pull my string down. It's like a little slip knot, just to hold it kind of straight. That way I could kind of wrap it with the twine, but you've got to leave
and cover up that zip tie.
And cover up the zip tie. Now what I was going to do, let's just wind it up, and then I'm going to tie it. So you just want to tie this piece just to get it to hold. Now the twine's in the middle. You can use like a white colored string. For the purpose of this video, I'm just making
yeah, you could use a white piece of yarn.
Yeah, you can
if
use
that's what you wanted.
A white piece of yarn, something to make it look.
It's okay.
So these are very, very short. This is a cute little bow. I told her that these bows could definitely be used
on a Christmas
gift, Christmas tree. You could put them in your Christmas tree. This one, since they're short, I'm not going to dovetail. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put them at an angle. Like so. That one's not exactly straight. These I think are fine. I think those are fine straight. What do you think?
They're fine.
Since they kind of came out short. So I would definitely cut the 2 top ribbons. We cut those at 28.
Yeah.
I would cut those
30.
at about 30.
I would just cut
I
them
cut them at 32.
Okay.
Give yourself some,
yeah.
some tails. All right. So what I was talking about was now you don't have anything to tie this to. I didn't leave enough because I used my little loop thing. So now I'm gonna have to take another piece of twine, and you're gonna just wrap it a couple of more times, or just tie it. Just tie it on. You can take a little small piece of ribbon if you want and tie it in a knot. You can really get it tight like that. Make sure it's in the back. And now you got your 2 strings, and you can cut the excess off of the other. Don't cut your long ones. Just cut the short ones. Get those 2 short ones out of the way, and you got the 2 long ones so you can tie it to something. You can use a piece of wire if you're going to be wiring it in your Christmas tree or whatever. But these are super cute for just something simple and pretty quick. If you need to make some to put on your little projects. So now Melissa's going to make one. All right, so she's cutting hers about 25 inches. This is a 4-inch with the stockings. It says Merry Christmas on it. So we're just kind of using some ribbon that we have.
Cute, cute. Okay, now I've got this 2.5. This was my 4-inch. This is my 2.5 inch. Go down to the 30 on that.
Alright, I would go a little bit. You want to go 31.
Okay.
So these are going to be at 31, so they leave a little bit longer tails than we had the last time.
Then I've got my 1.5 inch. I'm going to cut it.
And if you need to leave long tails, just get long pieces.
Yeah.
Just cut them even longer, whatever the length tails that you need.
Here, stretch it down there. Baby, you could have just measured on that piece.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know exactly what you were doing.
Y'all, I'm not a big measuring person.
Yeah, me and her totally different. I measure, she don't. So she's not going to let her do hers half and half. So she's just going to get her length to the size. Use the 4-inch to gauge how big you want to make your boat. And then you can kind of...
Alright, now I cut this piece down to...
roughly 24.
Yeah.
Roughly 24 inches. Don't overlap much more though. You need to leave yourself enough room to overlap at least 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches.
Yeah, that's what I did, about 2 inches. Alright, flip it over. Looking pretty.
So remember, 24 inches on the 4-inch on that one.
I gotta figure out which side is which.
And you can use this for any holiday that you want. Now, I would, instead of, this is what worked for me. Instead of going, like, just go even and only come down so far. Now, if you want longer tails and bigger loops.
I don't have to have longer tails or bigger loops. I just...
All right, well, just try it right there. That's a little more. So just mash it down.
About.
That's going to be bigger loops. So you got to add. That's why I said get in front of your 4-inch. Stay in front of your 4-inch and you can tell where you bend.
This is about right.
Okay. All right, so you got that one going. And just do the other one on top. A little shorter on your loops. And same thing. And then just follow your other. Stay in line with your bottom ribbon. So especially for people that say, we always get a lot of our followers and subscribers and stuff saying it's hard for them to make a boat. Oh, this cannot be hard.
Now see, mine didn't come out even. I'm not gonna, down here.
She'll just cut it.
On the tails, my tails aren't quite even. I'm just gonna cut them. I'm not gonna sweat it. Then I'm gonna take my fingers, I'm gonna scrunch it up in the middle. Oh, I got some big old. Alright, where's my zip tie?
Gonna get her zip tie.
Got a short, small zip tie.
Any way you can get this thing zip tied. we should be helping each other since we're right here because it's just easier. But
I got it.
because it's harder to get them started.
I think I got it.
So just get it where you want it before you tighten it down. Yeah, just kind of make sure your loops are not, you know, you may have one that's really shorter and you need to pull some.
I'm just adjusting my loops so they look, you know, my rabbit ears so they look even. Now I'm going to pull it a little bit tighter. I can still maneuver with it though if I need to. Alright, now I'm looking at my red, my 2.5 inch. I actually want my green loops smaller, a little bit smaller.
So that's why we said make sure that you leave a little slack in that zip tie until you really get where you're happy with it.
Yeah, where you want to be. All right. I think that's about good. You think?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Got it pulled tight. Cut my zip tie off.
Just lay it on the
Now
center.
I'm laying it up here. Gonna find my center. Found my center.
Yeah, make sure you're overlapping pieces, and you can stick glue on there if you want to, and glue those pieces together.
Yeah, if you want to, if you need to do that.
Mm-hmm. All right, so this is what I did on the last video where we did the fall. So leave that hanging and grab your long one and go the other way, because that way when you get finished you can tie those two together on a knot on the back. Don't tie yet. Now just keep wrapping. Hold your bow. Let me show. Hold your bow in one hand and just go around these ears. This is what I found was easier, and this is going to be a good tutorial because you see how hard that it was for her. All right, so once we get everything down and we get the centerpiece where we want, we're going to scrunch up across the middle, scrunch down from the top, like so. Now you take...
This is where his knot's coming in.
No, I'm not going to do a knot. You just take your twine and you want it to hang down. You want to just go over it and you want to let one piece hang.
Yeah, and get it with your finger.
So just catch that with your finger. Then you just work hold that out of the way.
Yeah.
You put it between your other fingers and only wrap over here on this one side. Just like so.
Yeah.
Okay. But you're just trying to cover up the
zip tie.
zip tie. Don't worry about messing your loops up, and then get about the same length. Okay. Now you can flip over, and you ain't got to hold it, and now you've got your two pieces,
and you can tie your knot
just like you're tying your shoes. So we ain't gonna do we're just gonna do a knot. We ain't gonna do a bow.
All right.
And now you get to fluff, but now you've got your two pieces hanging down
to tie it on.
To tie it onto your project.
All right, this is what it looks like smushed.
Smushed, smashed.
All right.
So now we're gonna fluff, and then make sure your little pieces stay in the back.
Yeah, you can glue that down if you need to.
Well, you can hide it. But I mean, overall, y'all, these are really. And you could zip tie. You could actually do. Let's look at that. Did you get this out
after
for me?
you make a couple of them? Yeah. After you make a couple of them, I mean, I'm sure it gets easier. Of course.
Well, just for video purposes and to show y'all, and I don't know how long she's got here. She's got a little. This is a long piece. This must be a piece you just had.
That's a piece I had. I was just gonna let you use it.
So we can cut that off. All right, so we're going to make this bottom one. How long did you cut your bottom one?
All right, y'all, there it is. But see, my tails aren't even, so I got to cut them.
24.
This is my bow, all fluffed up. Okay.
And you see how the tails still are pretty short.
I think this bow actually looks better with the short tails. And y'all, we did leave some string on the back so you can tie it to whatever, your package or whatever. The Christmas tree limb, whatever you decide.
And that's a pretty decent sized bow there. I mean, it's not. All right, y'all. So she got her little bow made.
Cute little bow. And it does have the strings on the back to attach it to your package or whatever you want to attach it to.
Right. Now, what I was thinking was, instead of doing it like we've been showing y'all, we've got a piece of gold. She had brought me some Mardi Gras stuff if I wanted to make a Mardi Gras color one. Now this piece is 30, it's almost 32, and I think we cut it before, is what we did. What did we cut that down to? Do you remember? I think we, what was yours?
I can't remember.
I think we're going to cut it down to 28 like the other ones. Or let's say 26. Yeah, let's say 26. So we're going to cut a piece down to 26 inches. And what we're going to do, we're going to fold it together just like we have before.
Let it overlap.
We're going to let it overlap, and we're going to get about an 11-inch bow.
Yeah.
So 10 or 11-inch bow. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to flip it over like we've been doing. But instead of waiting to do anything, y'all know my OCD doesn't, so about 5, is we're going to go ahead while we're right here, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to just scrunch across the middle, and I'm going to go ahead and put a zip tie. You can stick it in the other way. And we're going to go ahead, because it's just a zip tie. It's not like we're using a lot of...
Yeah, it can be hid.
Yeah, it's just a zip tie. So I'm going to just go ahead and we're going to cinch this bad boy down. I'll go ahead and cinch it down.
You're basically just layering your ribbons.
And now...
when you make this bow.
We'll cover that up. But now you have your 4-inch already made. I'm going to go ahead and just cut my zip tie down. You don't have to cut it if you don't want to. You can twist it and it'll make it it'll come off. Just hold it with the pliers and it will break itself off, and it'll get a lot closer when you do that. So now you can go ahead and you can fluff it out just like you want. You know, go ahead and make them nice and round and full and make them look pretty. So now you got that. That's what you're working with. And then we don't have to hold it anymore. And we've used 1 extra zip tie. And then we do our other 2 pieces that we had cut at, I think we cut our pieces at about the same length. That was 28. We're going to do them about 26. So we're going to cut 2 pieces about 26 inches. So we're going to cut the pretty purple 2.5. And we're going to cut this green. This is like some big time glitter. Some big glitter ribbon here. And we're going to cut the green at 26 also. Now I don't know where I watched the video before, or I saw somebody doing this, but I know they cut theirs at like 17, and it makes a really little bow, which I actually made in the last video. So kind of the same thing, y'all. These are going to run about 12 3/4 to center right here. All right, so that's pretty close, and you get your little shirt. You know, it looks just like a collar on a shirt when you get it folded. And we're just going to do the green right on top. So you can just take the green, make sure that it's upside down, and then just kind of to keep them about the same. Yeah, I think it would make it easier. I really do think it would make it easier scrunching it up if it didn't bend so far. If they stayed more up, kind of like so. Then you're not bending, you're not scrunching up so much. Does that make sense? And now they're just laid on top of each other, and we're just going to scrunch down the middle. Now these are making a lot smaller, and we're just going to take our zip tie, and we're going to hook it on. Just pull it around that back side kind of snug until you kind of get it where you think it needs to be. And I think we're going to be good there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull it down. And now you can start opening up. Just open those loops. Now you can, just play around with it and make the loops open as big as you want, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's off to the side over here, y'all.
I'm here, y'all.
She's watching me. But I thought maybe if we would just zip tie that one first and then put this one on top, that it might make it easier to kind of hold. I don't really know if that's going to be true. And all I have is the twine, like to tie with. But like if you had a different color, or let's say you had a green Chanel stem or something like that, which we do. And I'm going to kind of look. I'm going to actually try to pull the. I probably should have pulled these loops bigger.
It's okay. Cut it off.
So I'm going to cut it off. I'm actually going to twist this one too, so it'll break off cleaner. So just hold it with your pliers and then just twist, and it'll break it off clean with that little piece right there. Now I think what I'm going to do on this one, Chanel stems, or purple or whatever, and I think I'm going to put a Chanel stem
instead of putting
the twine. Now just make sure you get about even, and then turn it over, and then we're going to start twisting it. And you can pull it tight as you can, and we're just going to twist just like so. And it doesn't completely hide. It hides the zip tie on the top, but especially if you're just fixing to tie it on something and you're using these for you, if that makes any sense. It makes a super cute looking little bow tie, y'all. I mean, it really does. For just a little bit of ribbon, you know, you're just not using a lot of material. Even though that looks short and that back looks bigger. Now these, the same thing. You could dovetail them. You can dovetail them if you want. Or you can cut them at that little angle. I think dovetailing these are going to look okay. Just like so. One more. So there's multiple different ways that you can actually do this. I probably should have cut these. Let's cut these a little shorter so we can see some of that purple. That purple's too pretty not to show y'all. I mean, it just is. That purple paisley ribbon is just too pretty. And you work your loops. And there you go. So now you have a really pretty.
Oh, how cute.
A really pretty bow tie. Put that Put that on your neck. But I mean, how pretty? How pretty is that? How simple is that? You could tie these on a little planner, your lanterns, or anything. And I think doing it that way, zip tying the 4-inch together first. You could use 6-inch ribbon if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But they're super cute, y'all. So I hope y'all can see them. Woo, y'all. I mean, how pretty and how cute is that? Simple. The kids, if you could get the kids to help you, it'd be a good little project for the kids to do. Don't you think?
Well, it might be a little bit
hard, depending on how old, what age group of the kid.
Older kids
that wanted to decorate their little rooms. You know, you could put that on the corner of the bedpost, boop, 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 and Lord, you'd be Mardi Gras out. You know, or Christmas or whatever you wanted. So, I hope y'all enjoyed this one too, y'all. Super cute. Make sure y'all sprinkle and spread the love for us. We appreciate it. We are Craig and Melissa with Small Town Reshop and with the Bickhams right here on YouTube and Small Town Reshop on Facebook. So
yeah.
I want to thank y'all for coming to watch us today. If you got any value out of our videos, please give us a like, give us a share, and don't forget to subscribe to our With the Bickhams channel, and make sure you're following us on all of our Small Town Reshop social media pages. Y'all have a blessed day. We will see everybody next time. Bye, y'all.